Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Lalatakshaha, one who has an eye on the forehead. Lord Shiva has three eyes. In the name Virupaksha, we had seen that the sun, the moon, and the fire are his three eyes. Symbolically, also, we saw that Nyaya, that is objectivity or justice, Karuna, that is compassion, and Jnana, that is knowledge. These are the three eyes of the Lord. The third eye of Bhagavan is on the forehead, hence Lalata Akshaha.
Thus the Lord has got three eyes. Immediately everybody says, biologically this is not possible. But the Lord that we are talking is not a product that came from the local hospital, maternity ward. See, three eyes doesn't mean that he has got another eye. Every one of us has got a third eye, isn't it? Two eyes, the fleshy eyes. Everybody sees the same world. Then, you according to your understanding, you understand, is it not? A lawyer sees the papers that you present him. He sees, don't worry about it, it's all possible. Why? He has got a third eye. And he quietly takes you by the hand and goes through law into safety. And that is called a very successful criminal lawyer. He knows about it. A jeweler. To you and I, anything bright is diamond. He knows the right back. So among a sack full of artificial diamonds, if there is one blue one that is there, which is really costly, the fellow picks it up and says, you can take the rest free. I will take only this. Because that is $30,000, while all of them put together is $3.50. Artificially made. But to you and I, everything that is flashy is diamond. Must have an eye to know it, isn't it? An engineer comes and says, I'm very sorry, it's not going to stand long. What do you mean it's done long? I made it. I don't think that the beam can stand it, that load. How? By his experience, by his knowledge. Every one of us got it. The Lord is one who sees what you and I see. But he also sees the great reality. Trilochanam.
The Vedas and the Upanishads mention two very important spots to develop focus, to develop concentration, and to help the mind to turn within. One is this, which is the Agnya Chakra, and one is the heart, Anahata Chakra. Those who are heart-oriented meditate on the form or any other support system in their heart. And those who are more rational, logic-oriented, they use this, the third eye. This third eye is where we visualize, directing the attention of the mind to this place. One will also feel a sense of throbbing in this place. That keeps the mind alert that the form is being visualized here, or the support, whichever one is taking, one is visualizing here, and the throbbing keeps the mind very alert. It is also a focal point to help the senses and the mind to turn within. These two eyes, they look always outside, but with the third eye, we can turn within. When these two eyes are closed and we visualize the form here, so this is the inner eye. These two are the outer eyes, this is the inner eye. A seeker uses the method of Upasana to learn to focus here, to bring the mind's scattered thoughts to one place. And a physical place in the body helps the mind to focus. This is also a spot where when we focus, we develop more intuition, memory, creativity, and ultimately even the supreme knowledge. Generally, the eye of the Lord is closed. But whenever the Lord opens that eye, it is said, whatever is in front gets burned to ashes. The whole world also can burn completely when this eye is open. The symbolic meaning of this is that a mind which has developed single pointedness, focus, and which is pure can destroy any negativity. It has tremendous power. And all attachments, negativities, etc. are burnt away when we open this third eye. This third eye is dormant in all of us. Through intense sadhana and meditation, we can awaken the third eye. And when the third eye opens, the entire perception of the world of plurality disappears. Hence, in Vedanta it is said that is the experience of samadhi where the entire world disappears. Literally disappears. One rises above body consciousness, the entire world disappears and one is absorbed in that higher state. Hence the contemplation on the self or visualization of the form of the Lord or any other support system, one pursues by focusing the attention here. And slowly when the mind and the senses have gradually withdrawn from everything else and the only focus is here, after some time one transcends the form, one transcends the pointers, one transcends all support systems, one goes beyond the form, goes beyond all finitude, all limitations. Ramakrishna Paramhamsa visualized Mother Kali here, and for him Mother Kali is real. When he had to transcend the form, a great Vedantic master, Totapuri, walked into his life and he initiated him into the sadhana of the formless. So as Ramakrishna Paramhamsa was visualizing the form of Mother Kali, Totapuri Maharaj said, with the sword of your discrimination, cut the form. And in 3 days' time, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa was able to transcend. When he cut the form mentally, he absorbed himself into the formless, the absolute, Sat Chit Anand. What Totapuri Maharaj took many years to achieve, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa achieved in just 3 days. Because he had the purity, he had developed his concentration and his focus. So from the form to the formless, and by formless I don't mean pointers of the formless, by formless I mean Satchidanand. He transcended the form and absorbed in Satchidanand. Hence the visualization here is of tremendous importance, and a seeker meditates, visualizes here, and finally drops that to realize the Supreme. Even in the Yoga Marg we say this is the Agnya Chakra, and from here the Kundalini has to come to the Sahasrara. And when a person transcends the form, merges in the absolute truth, then one has the divine vision that there is only one absolute self, which is Satchidanand. There is nothing else. There is no plurality at all. Neha nanasti kinchana. There is no duality here. That is the highest vision, and that is Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Since the eyes represent the vision, this is the divine vision, that there is only one absolute self. One pure consciousness alone exists. And if at all one says that the master comes down from that state and perceives the world of plurality, deep down the master knows that all this is appearance of only one pure consciousness alone. Like the gold ornaments may be of different sizes, shapes, but it is gold alone. So the experience of this master is Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. The self in me is the self everywhere. In the Gita it is said, great yogis, when they depart from this world, consciously they exit the body. And some of them, the method that they use, the Gita tells us in the 8th chapter, Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranam aveshya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. Prayana kale, when one departs from the body, manasa chalena, with a completely focused mind, bhaktya yukto, with deep devotion, and with all the sadhana that one has done, yoga balena chaiva. What does this yogi do? Bhruvor madhye pranam aveshya samyak. Between the two eyebrows, the space between the two eyebrows, in this place, Bhruvor madhye pranam aveshya samyak. One focuses all the attention here and one ejects out of the body. What will that person experience Satam Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. That person experiences oneness with the Absolute. They are already one with the Absolute. In fact, when they eject out of the body goes back to the five elements, the mind goes back to the five elements, and they as though become one with the Supreme. Because the last shackle, which is the body, which is the mind, the functional mind, has dropped. And hence Lalatakshaha is most important. Lord Shiva's third eye is the third eye in all of us. And Lord Shiva is also the deity of meditation, of dhyan. So with the grace of Lord Shiva, may we learn to meditate, may we learn to focus our attention, and may we learn to open up our third eye, experience the state of samadhi also, and realize our oneness with Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.